Record rain from Michigan all the way down to D.C. and Maryland. Officials say every major highway in southeastern Michigan has been affected. Drivers caught off guard had to be rescued from their submerged vehicles. Now Baltimore is in the bullseye tonight, a flash flood emergency there.
Baltimore?
We get the latest on all of it tonight from NBC's Tom Costello.
Historic doesn't even begin to describe the scope of the flooding in Detroit. Interstates 94, 75, and 696 under as much as 14 feet of water after a deluge of rain.
What?
1,000 cars abandoned, many completely submerged. One woman died in her car, another died in her flooded basement. Today, dive teams were searching for drivers or passengers who might not have gotten out alive.
The freeway system is not safe right now. A lot of the areas may be electrified.
The cascade of rain began Monday around noon. By rush hour, it was coming down so fast, customers in this pizza restaurant found themselves trapped.
And we were wet up to past our knees, between our waist and knees. That's when I started to panic.
That's when we panicked, when we had to sit on the table and put our feet on the chair.
The storm seemed to park itself right over downtown Detroit. Then today, even more rain.
We picked up between 4.5 to over 6.25 inches of rain in Detroit, both records for the date and also for the entire month of August.
This morning, as one driver waded in to retrieve his flooded van, another headed straight into the floodwaters before having second thoughts and turning around. Meanwhile, that same system dumped rain from D.C. to Philly today. Nearly 6 inches at BWI Airport, with tunnels and highways across the Washington-Baltimore region flooded out, and fire teams coming to the rescue.
I guess she drove into the water, rose, and she got stuck. So turn around if you see rising water.
Tonight, the heavy rain is moving up the northeast coast. Out live, we've got submerged picnic tables and benches here. Baltimore is set to have the second wettest day on record for an August, and south of Baltimore, up to 10 inches of rain reported tonight. They are now looking at a flood emergency through the entire region through the evening, Brian.
So this unbelievable, this rainstorm comes over Detroit and then just pours a half a foot of rain on Detroit. It is flooded. Then it moves over, drops it on Philadelphia, Baltimore, Maryland, Washington, D.C., and as we speak right now, live, Long Island, New York is literally being drowned with an unbelievable, expecting 8 inches of rain to fall on the Long Island in New York. What is going on? Is there something biblical going on with these signs of the second coming of Christ? But wait, there's more. Let me tell you what else happened. While these cities are all of a sudden shockingly being drowned in usually a dry time, the dog days of summer in August, there are cities that have an unbelievable drought. We know about Southern California and parts of California in major droughts. We know there's parts of Texas that literally are rationing people to only flush their toilets once a day, no matter how many people live inside the house, and you can only take a shower once a week. And no way can you wash the car or water the lawn. You will be fined or arrested. But wait, listen to this. In Massachusetts, there's a town that's been scratching its head. What? They've lost 24% of its water is gone. 24% of the water's gone? Why? Well, that figure is actually even smaller than what they're really estimating is gone. According to Medway, Massachusetts, they're missing 100,000 gallons of water, according to the Milford Daily News. Now, current culprits could be unmetered conditions, leaks, maybe a combination of both. Again, these are guesses. Tom Holder, director of the city's Department of Public Services, told the newspaper. But in an effort to get to the bottom of the mystery of the missing water, the department is installing devices to measure how much water is going where, in which different neighborhoods and directions. Now, while that's going on in Medford, Mass., let's go to Iowa. It's even worse in Iowa, as there's a town there that's missing up to 851 million gallons of water disappeared in the year of 2013, last year in Iowa. So the situation is critical. So we went to the word of the Lord. How can there be places so dry and other places so overwhelmingly flooding wet? We went to the word, and we found, when you go to the book of Amos, chapter 4, verse 7 and 8, there's a prophecy that God said he would do this very thing. And listen as Max begins to read this for us.
And also I have withholden the rain from you, when there were yet 3 months to the harvest, and I caused it to rain upon one city, and caused it not to rain upon another city. One piece was rained upon, and the piece whereupon it rained not withered. So 2 or 3 cities wandered unto one city, to drink water, but they were not satisfied. Yet have ye not returned unto me, saith the Lord. I have smitten you with blasting and mildew, when your gardens, and your vineyards, and your fig trees, and your olive trees increased, the palmer worm devoured them. Yet have ye not returned unto me, saith the Lord.
So this is Amos chapter 4, verses 7, 8, and I went ahead and let you hear verse 9, because you might say, well, one city's being blessed, right? Go tell the people in Detroit they're blessed. When you have 14 feet of water and it's inside the pizza palace, a lady almost drowned, or maybe did drown, in her basement. Others are missing as cars are completely consumed. Folks just driving to work end up in a flood. And think of the mildew and the mold that's going to come after the water recedes. This is excess water flooding. It's not a blessing. It is a curse. And if you go check the towns that are losing water, the water levels are falling, or they're in severe droughts. People will start leaving those areas where there's no water to try to find satisfaction or try to find water to drink in another city. It even says 2 to 3 cities worth of people will go to one city to try to drink. And of course, if that happens, that's too many people drinking there. This is a biblical prophecy that in the last days, the Lord would send this type of phenomenon, or extreme weather patterns. And we're seeing sinkholes like we've never seen in history. Volcanic activity, many dormant volcanoes are now waking up. We're also hearing of straight line winds of biblical proportions, and lightning bolts that from the chargeable particles in the atmosphere bringing down thunderbolts, striking people, and people are being killed and electrocuted. We are hearing of wildfires in real droughted areas and floodwaters and other. We are sensing that something biblical is going on with the signs of the second coming of Christ. I want you to begin to just stop, look at the word, and say, you know what? What are we going to do? This is all in the Bible. And I didn't even mention the water turning blood red. I didn't even mention to you the solar flares on the sun, or all the earthquakes that have increased unbelievable exponentially in the last 100 years. No, I don't even want to talk about that. Just deal with this water drought phenomenon. It's a prophecy. It's in the book of Amos, chapter 4, verses 7 and 8. Give your life to Jesus Christ. We're living in the last days. I'll be right back in just a moment.